guys, it's Jen again, and in this video, Steve's going to show you how to use a sweep net.
So we're going to show you how to sweep net. This is a sweep net. You probably have one like it. It's the only thing that matters. It has a handle. It has a reasonably wide hoop. This one's about a foot, and it has a nice long bag. Dollar store nets aren't good because the bag's often too short. You can get good nets. Let me know. I can tell you how to get them. All you need to do with this really is sweep, usually back and forth like this. Usually across vegetation works well, or anywhere you can see insects gathering. Near water is good. You can move around, keep sweeping. I'm kind of beating across the top of this vegetation. You can get into the vegetation a bit like that. You might have some leaves in the net, but that's okay. And after you've been doing it for a while, or if you see something really cool that you think you've gotten, the key with this is when you stop moving the net back and forth to give the bag a little flip so it winds up folded over, insects can't get out, just like this. So that little flip at the end means that things are not caught inside the bag of the net. You can then grab the net in your hand like so and have a look and see what you have. I've got kind of a lot of leaves and stuff in here because I did beat right through the leaves. And if you look closely through the mesh, you can see there are some critters in there, not a whole lot on this run. The next thing you need to do is get them into a container of some kind. I use a combination of things. This is a 35mm film can. I love these. They're hard to get now though. I have smaller vials, and these are actually dollar store pill organizers, and they're actually great. You can put an insect in each of the four. I got the whole 7 times 4 of them for $1, so that was a good deal. I'm going to use my film can, show you how to get an insect out of the net. Now, if it's a big scary bumblebee or something, don't do this. But otherwise, I like to sort of reach inside with my vial, take the lid off, I forgot that part. And see if I can get the end of the vial over the insect against the side. There are now a couple of bugs inside the vial, inside the net. I'm now going to slide the cap in there, put the cap over, and when I pull it out, I should have a vial with a couple little flies inside. There's a fly in the bottom of the vial there, you can see. And so that's really the whole trick of using the sweep net. So the things to think about, and I'll let this guy go. Oh, it's a little true bug. Cool. The things to think about, first of all, are where to do it. And so good places to do it would have vegetation like this. You don't want to beat this net through heavy trees, only because, or thorny vegetation, could you rip the net. Above water is great. There's a little storm sewer flow here, and there's often things like dragonflies or damselflies sitting on vegetation near the water, so you can do that. You can look for places with flowers, so pollinators are coming, and beat around close to the flowers. Don't destroy your neighbor's garden. And again, whenever you're finished going after something, give that net that flip so that it doesn't get away. What we can use is to find an insect. I've got a wasp on the mud here, and we can put the net over top and bring it down slowly until, oh, rats. Did I get you any water?
A little bit.
So this is a wasp of some kind. Looks like maybe a mud dauber, which would be why it's in the mud actually. And this is something you probably don't want to reach right in there and get unless you're a little more advanced at it. So this is a good one to either bring the net home like this, put it in the freezer, or if you have a larger jar, you can very, very carefully, if you're not allergic, reach in and try to get him. Often trapping him against a fold of the net is a good idea. So this wasp will go this way. And they are maybe going to be a little aggressive because they're annoyed that you caught them in the net. So you have to be careful. I'm keeping folds of the net between him and my finger as he goes into the vial. I've now got them trapped against the mesh. I can either bring the vial out or put the lid in. See how I've got a fold of the net caught between the lid and the vial. I'm now pulling that fold gently out while the lid stays in place. Click it in place, and I've removed Mr. Wasp.
Now, if you've got a net full of insects, you might want to know whether you can get all of them out without having them escape. And there is actually a quick shortcut for this. You can take your net home if you're close to home, and you can actually take the net and tuck the whole bag of the net inside your freezer. You can see in the picture, I've got the net sitting on top of my freezer. The net is going inside. The gasket will seal around it. 5 or 10 minutes in there, or if you'd rather, in the fridge for about 20, and the insects will be slowed down enough to handle them. They'll wake up fairly quickly once you take it out, but you can take the net out, transfer the bugs to vials before they wake up again. If you leave it in there for more like an hour, the insects will be killed, and you can take your time sorting them out. But of course, if you're not going to keep everything in the net, it's probably better to just put them to sleep, sort out the ones you want, and release the rest back outside. So there's a shortcut if you're close to home for getting everything out of your net. Some days you wind up with 50, 100 bugs flying around inside the net. What do I do next? This is what you do next.
All right, so that was how to use a sweep net.